There's an insane amount of construction in Victoria right now, and it's not just the endless roadwork, there's new buildings popping up everywhere. So, are we building too much too fast? In Toronto, only 42 new condos sold last month in the entire city because of the oversupply over there. Will Victoria suffer the same fate? We'll dig into that question today after we take a quick look at the latest market trends for the summer. Please let me know what you think about all the development and changes coming to Victoria in the comments below. I love hearing from you, so please let me know your thoughts. Out of 680 properties to sell in Victoria last month, less than 50 sold over asking price. The summer slowdown is here. It makes sense since people are on vacation, they're out of town, and life just gets really busy around this time of year as well. Overall, I'd say we've hit a balanced market. I don't like to use that term much since it's usually quite meaningless, since some segments can be hot and others completely quiet. But generally, everything is feeling quite balanced right now, meaning inventory is staying on the market longer and buyers have some breathing room to make moves. For well-priced detached homes in Saanich or Colwood, if they have a suite, there's still some urgency and competition there. But if you're buying a condo or you're buying anything over $2 million or a property out in Souk, you can really take your time. Overall, there's lots of space to make conditional offers and get a fair price. I'm personally noticing all my buyers are extremely price conscious and spend a lot of time organizing follow-up quotes during the condition removal period and doing secondary inspections such as plumber quotes, drain scoping, electrical inspections, which are always recommended. Another anecdotal observation I'm seeing is quite a few collapsed offers. For example, a property might get listed and maybe have one or two offers. One gets accepted, and then once reality sets in, the buyer soon realizes that it may be overpaid and it's released back to the market. So if a property has an offer, certainly don't count it out as sold just yet. Looking at prices, it's relatively flat for month over month. Despite what's happening in Toronto and other markets, Victoria has proved to be extremely stable. Condo prices are still down from the peak in 2022, but overall, if you look at the last year, we're pretty flat, which is amazing. And there's not really a huge flood of new inventory or panic selling. You'll see the occasional condo sell for what I think would be a really great deal. That's not really the norm. If the sellers can afford to wait, they're still waiting and holding those prices. And I think that's largely due to our stable rent prices. Rental rates, they have softened, they have come down, but it hasn't been dramatic. Over the next 2 years, there's over 10,000 new homes and purpose-built housing units coming online in Victoria. The majority, over 80%, are condos. On Reddit, they call them dog crate condos. The Toronto condo market has collapsed specifically for this reason. They overbuilt too many small condo units, investors bailed, and now the market is absolutely flooded with them. Now, I don't think we'll see this kind of dramatic correction in Victoria, but we might see a similar trend play out here to some degree. In my own neighborhood, the intersection at Shelbourne and Mackenzie has almost like a new mini city coming up there, and rental prices aren't cheap. They're asking $3,300 for a 2-bedroom furnished unit and $1,800 a month for a 350 square foot studio. Now, I have no idea how well these are renting, but I do know that large corporations can afford to keep vacancy rates high until they get rented, so I wouldn't expect these rates to drop much over time either. Cordova Bay could soon be home to 1,100 new homes. There's 900 approved units coming to Esquimalt and twice that in the pipeline in the next 5 years. Interestingly enough, Langford is now lagging behind when you look at the numbers compared to Esquimalt and Saanich for housing starts. There's also lots of these new multiplex or stacked townhome developments popping up everywhere within residential neighborhoods. This is all thanks to the province's new upzoning mandates. I haven't personally lived in something like this, but I would be curious to hear some honest feedback about someone who has. I think it's going to come down to the layouts in these ones. I can see lots of issues having so many people in such a small footprint when you have a small strata to boot as well. And of course, parking will be an issue with these kind of developments as well. I'm a big proponent of more density. We have to build, but it has to be the right kind of homes and also come with the right kind of infrastructure upgrades alongside it, like new schools, pools, hospitals, all these kind of things. We can't just add more people to Victoria without adding the amenities as well. What do you think about all the new development in Victoria? Are we on the right track and making smart decisions? Or is this a case of the pendulum having swung too far in the other way and we're headed for an overcorrection. Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.